Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6:30. I will call the Tuesday, November 2nd meeting of the Superior Common Council to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councillor Ledeen.
Here.
Councillor Van Sickle.
Here.
Councillor Bender.
Here.
Councillor Sweeney.
Here.
Councillor Fennessy.
Here.
Councillor Elm.
Here.
Councillor Ludwig.
Here.
Councillor Sutherland.
Here.
Councillor Kern.
Here.
And Councillor Grasky.
Here.
Thank you.
We have a quorum.
Item 3.1 is the approval of the regular council meeting minutes from October 19th.
Motion to approve.
The motion is by Councillor Bender, who made the second. Councillor Elm made the second. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 4.1 is the public hearing to approve a resolution authorizing the city to pave an updated 2022 alley project, alley number 3, and assess the costs to the abutting property owners.
If there is no objection, I will open the public hearing. Is there anybody that would like to speak in the public hearing? Councilors, anybody want to speak in the public hearing? And would anybody like to speak in the public hearing? Hearing no one, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing and approve the resolution.
So moved.
There's a motion by Councillor Bender. Is there a second?
Second.
Second is by Councillor Elm. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 4.2 is a public hearing to approve adding the properties located at 1011 Weeks Avenue and 2113 through 2115 Ogden Avenue to the Municipal Register of Historic Places.
Motion to approve.
Well,
It's
first
a
I'll just
public hearing.
open the public hearing if there's no objection. Anybody want to speak in the public hearing? Again? Councilors, anybody want to speak to the historic places we're registering? Hearing none, I will now accept the motion to close the public hearing and approve adding the properties to the register.
So motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is by Councilor Bennett, second by Councilor Ludwig. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion carries.
Item 4.3 is a public hearing to formally approve the 2022 general fund budget.
If I hear no objection, I will open this public hearing. Would anybody like to speak to the budget? Would anybody like to speak to the budget? Finally, would anybody like to speak to the general fund budget? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to close this public hearing and approve the 2022 general fund budget.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion is by Councilor Elm, second by Councilor Ledeen. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 6.1 is a report from Mayor Payne.
Thank you, councilors. First, the most interesting thing, this morning we received a recommendation from the Douglas County Public Health Officer advising that COVID cases continue to rise in Douglas County, which is concerning because they're falling both nationwide and throughout Wisconsin. But even more concerning was that we've had a number of COVID cases within this building. And so she recommended that the city and the county resume wearing masks in the workplace. So I sent an email. I'm sure you all have seen it by now. I sent an email that beginning tomorrow morning, city employees will begin wearing masks roughly the same way we did during during last year's part of the pandemic. And just to jog your memory, that is employees that are interacting with the public or work in close proximity to other employees. So we'll just be following the same policies we followed throughout the rest of the pandemic in an effort to try and keep employees safe while at work. The other thing that we're going to be working on in the next couple of days, I'm going to be having a longer conversation with the attorney and a few counselors about how to make it easier for us to conduct our meetings for the boards and the commissions. So not the council or the council standing committees, but those bodies that have citizen members are struggling. Several of them are struggling to make quorum because so many people prefer or can only attend via digital or phone means. So that was something we discussed quite a bit when we changed the rules towards the end of the state of emergency earlier this year. And for a number of reasons, it's just becoming a problem. You know, some people we need to or want to accommodate. A lot of people have just adjusted to life where they can call in, and we want to keep citizen participation in these boards and commissions high. So I don't know what the solution will be for that in the end, but I hope to be able to present something to you in the next 2 weeks. That's about all I have, unless there are questions for me. Councilor Fennessy.
The only question I had for you is for the mask. It looks like the recommendation was for the employees for 2 weeks, the incubation period. Is that what you're going to be following, do you think?
I didn't put a date on it, but I'm trying to track pretty closely to the recommendations of the public health officer. So if in 2 weeks she feels good, then I feel good, and we'll relax that.
Thanks.
Any other questions? We can move on to the appointment.
Okay. Item 6.2 are the committee appointment recommendations. Mayor Payne is recommending appointing Patty Soliday to the Tourism Development Commission for a 1-year term expiring November 2022.
Motion approved. Second.
Motion is by Councilor Bennett, second by Councilor Sweeney. Is there discussion? Councilor Fennessy.
Sorry again. The just with this, is this an additional appointment?
No, Steve Canals was not able to accept the original appointment, and so he has left the commission, really never joined.
Okay.
So this will be the seat that he was filling.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you, councilors.
Item 7.1 is the business of the Human Resource Committee from a meeting held October 18th. Is there a report from the chair?
I just have a short report. At our October 18th meeting, we approved 2 requests to fill positions. One was a street light equipment operator and subsequent vacancies, and this was due to a retirement. The second one was Community Services Officer 2, our Animal Control Officer, and subsequent vacancies, and this was due to a resignation. We continue to revise, update our job descriptions. We approved the revised job description for the fire chief. And then the final thing I want to report on is received and filed library board's decision to for them to resume oversight of their library staff positions and duties. That is all I have to report. Thank you.
We have no business from that committee, so unless there are questions for the chair, if not, we can move on to the Finance Committee.
Item 7.3 is the business of the Finance Committee meeting held October 14th. Is there a report from the chair?
Yes, thank you. There are 2 items that perhaps need a little explanation. The first one is item number 1. We approved a credit for a company that had a vacation rental, and we split the cost. There's some confusion on their part. There's confusion on our part. And I think it perhaps bites to a deeper problem. These vacation rentals are popping up. There's a number of them. I don't know how many, 30 some, maybe more now. But it's difficult for us to track them because we don't know they're even open, some of them. So that's a problem. And number 2 is most of the vacation rentals belong to an organization that pays their tax. But what they do is the vacation rental company, not the local one, they send us $1 figure, and it may represent 4 or 5 different rental units. So we're having difficulty figuring out which one is paying for what. And so this brought this to light, and this couple were very forthcoming. They want to do the right thing. They didn't understand some things. So it's a new business for us, so we have to get it under control, and we will. But those are the 2 things that are kind of existing right now, and I'm sure we'll work them out. So just when you have something new, it just takes a while to get it done and get it through. And the last item is, I'm sure everyone knows this, we talked about it enough, but the value for the high-value network, we've added some surgeries and such to that, okay? And you can read about them and see the ones we've added. And so we haven't been tremendously successful in that yet. The last count I know was one, there may be two. But COVID, people putting off operations and such. So we're encouraged that this will go, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I think it's a good thing to have for employees, and they can go to a value, and a valued one value to me means price and quality, and so it is a value. Most of them are in the Twin Cities, fortunately, but something we've added on, and I think it'll continue to grow as we get through this pandemic and things get back to normal. So that's my report. Thank you. Unless there's some questions, I'll be happy to try and answer.
Are there questions for the chair? If not, the business of the Finance Committee. It was a busy committee meeting, but is there a motion to approve all of the business? Or
Motion to approve all business.
the motion is by Councilor Elm, second by Councilor Ledeen to approve all of the business of the Finance Committee, items 1 through 6. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, Councilor Van Sickle.
Well, I was just going to ask the clerk to reflect that I'll abstain from this.
Okay, the minutes will still reflect that. I'll take the vote again. All those in favor of approving all 6 recommendations of the Finance Committee, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion carries with Councilor Van Sickle's abstention.
Item 7.4 is the business of the Licensing and Fees Committee meeting, which was held October 20th. Is there a report from the chair?
Yes, thank you. So this meeting was the first one we've had in a while for this committee, so it's kind of interesting. We went through dove into a lot of things on this committee. Right here, what you see in this item on the agenda is implementing a late fee schedule for renewable annual miscellaneous licenses issued by the city's clerk's office. What we're finding out here is what we found out is at the end of the year, our city clerk's office is tracking down businesses who are not filling out their renewals in time, and it becomes a headache. So we've implemented some ideas, which you can see in the packet, to help maybe put some pressure on these businesses to get it done on time and make it easier for the organization. Other than that, we drove into a couple other things that are coming back on our next meeting. So that's about it for my report.
Unless there are questions for the chair, we'll have the clerk read the ordinance.
Recommendation is to adopt an ordinance implementing a late fee schedule for renewable annual miscellaneous licenses issued by the city clerk's office.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion is by Councilor Sweeney, second by Councilor Bender. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 7.5 is the business from the Public Safety Committee from a meeting held October 20th. Is there a report from the chair?
Yes. Here we had some updates from both our police and fire chiefs. Some awesome things coming down the pipeline there. We had an update on the parking on Wisconsin Point with Councilor Van Sickle brought that up a couple meetings ago. I was hoping Lieutenant Schoen got to her on that situation there. Now that there's not going to be no parking there in the winter as much, hopefully the problem can be solved there in that area. We talked about parking on Weeks Avenue in Councilor Elm's district. No action taken on that one. We're talking about permitting. And Councilor Ledeen brought up special events permitting at the fairgrounds, which we referred to the city and county committee. That's it. Thank you.
Are there questions for the chair? If not, we will move on to the special committees.
Item 8.1 is the business of the Mayor's Commission on Disability meeting, which was held October 18th. Is there a report from the chair?
No report on that one. Thank you.
Item 8.2 is the business of the Barker's Island Review Committee from a meeting held October 20th. Is there a report from the chair?
The chair is not here, but I think the recommendations speak for themselves. This will be, probably a quarterly committee to review the interaction between the city and the marina, and to some extent the people that live on Barker's Island, both the businesses and the residents there. But it will relate relate specifically to the marina. So unless there are questions about the committee, we can move right into the recommendations.
Recommendation number 1 is to approve the committee mission statement, and recommendation number 2 is to approve changing the committee name to Marina Committee.
Motion approved.
Second.
The motion is by Counselor Bennett, second by Counselor Sweeney to approve both recommendations. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 8.3 is the business of the Human Trafficking Task Force Commission from a meeting held October 15th. Is there a report from the chair? I don't think the chair's here.
Counselor Earl?
Yeah, there's not much to update here. The commission's SOAR training is now complete, and there's some recommendations. And future meetings, we're going to go step by step through them. And also the commission is going to review any crossover work, so there's no overlap between the efforts of this commission and the existing response team. So that's essentially all I have to report there.
Let's hear questions. I'll just report on the Plan Commission briefly. We don't have business forwarding, but councilors, I'd urge you to keep an eye on the Plan Commission agendas for the next 2 months. As early as next month, but we'll have the City Comprehensive Plan presentation to the Plan Commission, and I think it would be wise for you to follow the early presentation of that. It's obviously a very big policy, and better prepare you for when that comes finally before the council. But you should see that coming up here in November. Unless there are questions.
Item 8.5 is the business of the Tourism Development Commission. Meetings held October 15th and October 22nd. Is there a report from the chair?
I have no report at this time.
Item 10.1, I am recommending approval of miscellaneous licenses.
Motion approved. Second.
Motion is by Councilor Bender, second by Councilor Elm. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 10.2, Economic Development Planning and Port Director Cirque is recommending approval of the amended development agreement with DMB Morales LLC, doing business as Bucktails Cantina and Grill at 1015 Tower Avenue.
Second.
The motion is by Councilor Elm, second by Councilor Ludwig. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 10.3 is a resolution of the City of Superior supporting the submittal of a Neighborhood Investment Fund Program grant application to the Wisconsin Department of Administration, which would aid in the Development Association's purchase of the old post office located at 1401 Tower Avenue. And
Second.
Motion is by Councilor Ludwig, second by Councilor Bender. Is there discussion?
Just may the records reflect that I've abstained from this vote.
The record will so reflect. Councilor Sweeney?
Is it, I understand it's, the old post office is where I would think it was, 1401 Tower, so that's an operating business right now, though, right? I mean, there's tenants in there and clients?
I'll invite Jason Cirque, but the building is for sale, so I don't know if there are any tenants left in there, right?
Actually, there are. On the second floor, there are two tenants. On the first and third floor, there are not. And the plans are, as the resolution reflects and as the application develops, there's this venture home project that Jim Caesar, along with UWS, is bringing forward to help with entrepreneurship. Yep. The tenants will remain, Councilor
Okay,
Sweeney.
that's
Yes.
my first question. So we haven't come agreement to a price yet?
I believe the number for the building is 1.3 million. We are asking for 1.8. Not only is it purchase, it probably should have reflected there's some rehab and some programming as well that's in there for the project.
So when we get the building, if we do, what is the city what are the plans?
We are not going to own the building. Development Association will own the building.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
What do they plan on doing with it?
Well, they are looking at doing some programming in there. They will be working with the University of Wisconsin Superior on what they're calling a venture home project. It's an entrepreneurship program that will help entrepreneurs grow, eventually going into the community to, whether it be product sales, retail, restaurant, things of that nature. They will also have other anchor tenants. The ones on second floor will stay, and Jim is also looking for potentially other tenants to help, kind of subsidize this program.
So the money, you say it's the Development Association. Where's that money coming from?
So we are looking for a grant of $1.8 million from
Oh.
the state of Wisconsin.
Oh,
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right.
We're a third party to this deal, Counselor.
Yeah,
So the
okay.
Development Association is working to buy the building. It is 100% their transaction. They would like help to buy the building. So I'm not saying they won't ask for city money at some point, but that's not what this is. They're applying for a grant to the state, but the state requires the municipality to support the grant application, and that's what this and the next resolution do.
As well as submit, Councilor Sweeney, the municipality has to submit it as well. Yes.
See, you're endorsing the application. You are telling the state and the Department of Administration that this is a worthy project.
Yes.
Other questions or discussion? Councilor Van Sickle.
Okay. Is this program different than or complements the one-stop shop business undertaking that Mr. Caesar described at the last council meeting?
I was not at that meeting. Go ahead, Mayor.
This is that, yes. So what
But UWS and sorry to interrupt, UWS and the Development Association would enter into this partnership in order to bring in all of the other entities?
So he described a program that he, that he hopes to create. This is very specifically about the purchase of the building, but the grant application does describe many of the uses, and that would be one of them. Other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, saying no. Motion carries.
Item 10.4 is another resolution of the City of Superior, Wisconsin, supporting the submittal of a Neighborhood Investment Fund Program grant application to the Wisconsin Department of Administration, which would aid in the rehabilitation of the former Carnegie Library located at 1201 Hammond Avenue.
Motion is by Councilor Elm, second by Councilor Ludwig. Is there discussion? Councilor Sweeney.
Is this the same basic process?
Yes.
Okay. So again, we're a third party?
Yes, well, in that we will be submitting the application,
okay.
but the owner of the building will conduct the project. That Mr. Osterland's company will receive the money for the development, but we're sponsoring that development and
Okay.
applying for the grant.
Thank you.
Councilor Fennessy.
Are there any other areas, because if we submit this, $3 million is what it looks like what we're asking for, are there any other areas that we're looking at submitting any other grants, or at the time, is this the only one?
These are the only two that
Yeah.
we're submitting right now. We could submit more, but you need a project, and they largely have to be quote unquote shovel ready. So you need somebody ready to do something, ready to spend the money right now. And in my conversations with the Secretary of Administration, it was clear to me anyways that the projects they're hoping to fund are ones that if they give the grant, they will see a completed project. So there could be more conceptual things out there, ideas people have, but at least these are two projects that have come forward that, given the money, the project is completed.
Okay, thanks.
The only other thing I'd add to that is there's kind of a low end amount for these grants. They're really not looking for any applications below $1 million. And at least when I was down in Madison, that was kind of the cheap amount. They wanted big numbers. The question is on the resolution for the Carnegie grant. Any further discussion? Councilor Grasky?
I just have a quick question. Oh, sorry. I just have a quick
No,
question.
go ahead.
It's feedbacking. Sorry, I got distracted. How did this come about? Was it just that this process of these projects were in motion and then this grant came along, or how did we help as a city just initially? Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, that's pretty close. So the Development Associate, both of these projects have been in the works for some time. In the case of the Carnegie, a few years. And obviously, the city and myself and Mr. Cirque have worked fairly closely with both of these actual people, Mr. Osterland and Mr. Caesar. And so when this grant program was created, we thought of these projects fairly quickly. So when I was down in Madison, I discussed the actual the post office project directly with Department of Administration to better understand the program. And then with that understanding, we had a meeting just about 2 weeks ago with Mr. Osterland, and that project really fits the grant as well. So the grant program is new, the projects are not. Councillor Sutherland.
Thank you. Just out of curiosity, with that Carnegie building, is there any money available for historic grants with that building, or is that something that's already been pursued, or is that something that this would follow under as well?
There are historic rehabilitation tax credits. I don't think I could competently describe them here, but they would be a part of the project, but only, I guess, relatively small part of the project. It would need to be fully financed and completed to be eligible for those credits. So the answer is yes, but it needs more money than just that.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion carries. To my knowledge, we have no further business and are adjourned. Thank you, councilors.
Thank you. Well, I'm not wearing my collar.
Have a good night.
That's the best thing. Yep. And rather than sleep in my wife's chair, last night I actually slept in the bed. Yep, it was. And I purposely stayed up until after 12 o'clock on, February 31st, to make sure that I could take the all around.